I just watched, is it Robert Eggers' follow-up to The Witch, which is The Lighthouse, starring Robert Patterson and William Dafoe as two lighthouse keepers who seem to go slowly mad as they are trapped after a 4 week stay, a 4 week stint shift at a really remote lighthouse. They are caught in a storm and generally go mad. It is in black and white. It is in a kind of a square, I think it's Academy ratio, which makes it all the more claustrophobic. And it has a beautiful, terrible soundscape that reminds me of David Lynch's Eraserhead, with the persistent foghorn, the crashing and clanging of machinery, and what almost sounds like whale song, or maybe it's mermaid song, going as these two really filthy, um, I guess kind of, is it New Englandy, Maine kind of dudes, uh, um, with Defoe is kind of the old sea salt who's got a bum leg and is now a wiki man, because it's a wick of the of the lighthouse, the light which he is allowed to tend to, and is he locks it and guards it possessively, like it's a woman that no one else can take. And he delivers, they steadily get on each other's nerves more and more. And Patterson is very taciturn at the start, and won't drink, and says his name is one thing, and then most of the way through you find out maybe his name is another thing, and he's murdered somebody. Or he says, no, I didn't murder him, I just didn't save him when he fell in amongst the logs and got turned into jam. And and Defoe's got, like, his what happened to the guy who was his second before him, and it's like he went mad. And except maybe he didn't go mad, and Patterson finds a severed human head in one of the lobster pots. Or did he? Because he's going mad, going crazy. And they start drinking more and more, and they like dance together, and they like cuddle, and they almost kiss, and then they fist fight. And and it's and intersposed with little snippets of where he seems to find a merwoman washed up on the rocks, and is fucking her. And he also finds at the very beginning a little fetish doll of a mermaid, which he's jacking off to. And William Defoe is farting, and you can just like smell these guys. And the thing is fouled, and he's bashing the shit out of a seagull. And Defoe is like, never kill a seagull, because it's got the soul of a dead sailor in it. And oh, and and in the end, he in the end, Defoe and meets his end, and he goes up to the light, and he just like, it's like burned up in the light, like it's the light of the gods, and he falls down the thing. And the last scene is of him, Prometheus, like having his liver ripped out by seagulls, which is, if you know the myth of Prometheus, it's like he's condemned to have his liver ripped out and eaten each day, and then it regrows, and then gets ripped out and eaten again and again and again and again. So it's a never-ending hell, hell of this thing. And it's like, it's Defoe's character talks about, what bubbles up from the madness of men. But Defoe himself, it's like, I am like basically the sea god, Father Neptune, sea god. We seem to have lost the Christian gods and are into like Neptune and Zeus and all that. And I don't pretend to understand it. And it was just this amazing kind of just voyage into this madness. And I think about my crazy coworker, which I talked about earlier on in one of these other videos here. And I think about, wow, this is what would happen if I was a lighthouse keeper and I was trapped with this crazy conspiracy theorist guy, and I went insane and I confessed to murders, I guess. Something like that. Oh well, The Lighthouse, awesome movie.